Now at 10, this is Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
The future of the South Meriden Fire Department is up in the air tonight. Good evening, and thanks for joining us for the Fox 61 News at 10. I'm Brent Harden.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. A confusing situation for volunteer firefighters. They thought the department would be eliminated, but we're just told tonight that's not the case. Fox 61's Kay Pattyfoot attended a meeting at Meriden City Hall tonight. So, Kay, did they talk about the future of the department?
A slap in the face is how some volunteer firefighters are describing the situation. The South Meriden volunteer firefighters were told on Monday that as of December 31st, their department would be eliminated. But the city manager says he hasn't heard of the volunteer fire department being eliminated. In fact, he said that at Wednesday's meeting, that was the first he had heard of it at all.
I was crushed, but understood that there was issues happening, and I think the biggest problem was that there was no transparency of how can we fix this problem.
Jim Knoyer has served 41 years with the South Meriden Volunteer Fire Department, and the station itself has been around for more than 100 years. Jim and others were told on Monday the department would be eliminated on New Year's Eve. Volunteer firefighters at Meriden Station 6 say a lot of great firefighters got their start there.
Many people who staffed the department went on to great things. Within a year ago, there were 3 chief officers on the Meriden Fire Department who were former members in good standing of the South Meriden Volunteer Fire Department.
However, at Wednesday's public safety meeting, city officials were unaware of this decision and just as confused.
There appears to be some miscommunication, and it's still pretty early on, and I don't know exactly where that miscommunication happened, but no decision has been made to eliminate the fire department, the volunteer fire department.
The potential removal of Station 6 is concerning for community members.
The department has been a staple in our community and a valuable asset for South Meriden. And it's such a shame that their existence may no longer be.
After Wednesday's meeting, volunteer firefighters are still left with unanswered questions. The next public safety meeting is scheduled for December, where everyone is hopeful this matter will be resolved. In Meriden, Kay Pattyfoot, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kay, thank you. And turning to the weather now, and we've been talking this week about the rain coming. Finally, it's going to rain. But before we get into that, we're learning there was an earthquake near Moodus just a few hours ago.
Yeah, most of us didn't feel it. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank for more on that. Hi, Rachel.
Yeah, I didn't feel it either. This is a fairly weak earthquake, although it was felt as far away as New York State and also Rhode Island. This happened at 7:33, about 1 mile down in Moodus, and Moodus does have a history of having these kinds of earthquakes going back centuries, and this one was a 2.3 magnitude. And we asked you if you felt it. Kate Avery saying in East Hampton that she heard a big boom, like an explosion, and then her whole art studio started shaking hard enough that the paintbrushes and the jars began to rattle. And AL in Middle Haddam said, yes, it shook the house in Middle Haddam, but it was very quick. Again, the other big story is the rain, and we did want to let you know that it will be heavy in the morning. Of course, we welcome the rain, we love it, but you will be splashing through puddles on your way off to work and school, and there could be some slippery roads with some of the oils coming up out of the ground for the first time in a while, and also some wet leaves too. You can see this wave of rain heading this way, and we love to see it. Heading through the overnight hours, we're dry until between 4 and 8 a.m. That's when that rain is going to develop. Again, it will be heavy at times for the morning commute, and then after the morning, I think we see a few lingering off and on showers through the rest of the day, but it's not as bad for the evening drive. I think those showers will be much lighter in nature. Then this is kind of a wild card for tomorrow night and into Friday morning. We could finish in the northwest hills with some slippery spots with a few wet snowflakes mixing in. We're going to talk about all of this, your full forecast, more on this much needed beneficial rain coming up.
All right, Rachel, thank you. Well, holiday shopping is starting up, but if you're shopping online, that can make you more vulnerable to thieves stealing your packages.
Fox 61's Kayla Cade spoke with local police tonight about what they're seeing already and what you can do to not become a victim.
'Tis the season for presents, holiday decorations, and also porch pirates. In this West Hartford neighborhood, it's quiet, but there are still some concerns of someone coming to steal their packages.
We hear about it in the news, almost every day, particularly in the holiday season, so it's something that's on our mind.
When Michael Wren orders packages to his home in West Hartford, he says he always has concerns it might get stolen. One day, a big package was delivered to their home, and his daughter says she was nervous someone was going to take it.
So I called my dad, and I asked him if I should move it or something, so I tried, and he said yes, so I tried moving it, but it was too heavy, so then the entire time I was just really nervous that someone was going to steal it.
According to security.org, more than 10 million Americans had $2 billion worth of packages stolen in the last 3 months. Experts say porch pirates take advantage of unattended packages, especially during the holiday season when deliveries surge. But there are some ways to protect your items when you're not home to retrieve them.
We would suggest delivery to the extent one can arrange it at a date and time when you know you're going to be home. Building a relationship with the regular delivery people in your area to try to get them to put the packages in a location where they might be less visible.
Enfield Police Chief Alaric Fox says having a doorbell camera attached to your home can help police catch a potential thief. He says you can have items delivered to your workplace or have your neighbors keep an eye out for your packages. Luckily for the Wren family, they have friendly neighbors who work from home to keep a lookout for thieves.
People are, always looking out for each other and paying attention, letting us know if they see anything funny.
Chief Fox says while they haven't had any reported incidents yet, he knows they're coming, and he's issuing a warning to any would-be thieves.
So it's a larceny offense, and it would be graded based on the value of the property that was taken, but it's also certainly a big old bah humbug during the holiday season as well.
Chief Fox says if you suspect your package has been stolen, contact your local law enforcement and also report it to the delivery company or the seller of that item. In West Hartford, Kayla Cade, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
All right, Kayla, thank you. We have breaking news just into the newsroom from Willington, where state police are investigating a deadly crash on I-84 East. The crash happened this afternoon in the area of exit 71 when troopers say a vehicle hit the back of a tractor trailer while trying to change lanes and then spun out of control. The passenger in that vehicle, a woman from Southbridge, Massachusetts, died. The driver was airlifted to a hospital for emergency treatment. Well, happening right now, Hartford police are coordinating with other local, state, and federal agencies in an active manhunt to find a murder suspect who is still on the loose.
Police are hoping someone will come forward saying they know where this suspect is. Here he is, Lance Morales, 23 years old, from Waterbury. Fox 61's Matt Karen brings us up to date.
While Hartford police are asking for your help, they also stress that Lance Morales should be considered armed and dangerous. If you see him, do not approach. Simply call 911. Speaking straight from the heart.
This hit the heart of Hartford.
And straight to the camera.
Do not approach this individual.
Interim Hartford Police Chief Kenny Powell delivered a stern message directly to the suspect.
So I want to talk to Lance right now. Lance, you have no other option but to hand yourself in to the Hartford Police Department for the horrific crimes that you have done.
Here he is, Lance Morales, a.k.a. Macho. He's 23, from Waterbury, and has a criminal record. Last seen in a white Infiniti Q70, plate number 3NE B35. He has access to multiple vehicles.
I promise you, and I make good on my promises, that you will be apprehended, and I will use all resources to apprehend you. State, federal, and all the partners that I have.
Lance Morales is now facing charges ranging from 2 counts of murder to assault. He's believed to be the trigger man who gunned down 20-year-old Josiah Mercado and her infant son, Messiah Diaz, in broad daylight here on New Britain Avenue Tuesday.
Unbelievable. I felt that this neighborhood was incredibly safe. I suppose it still is, but I'm shocked.
I heard a strange noise, and I actually had to stop in mid-conversation because it was just so loud. But I thought it was a normal car. I never heard a gun like that before.
That gun sounded like an automatic weapon for a reason.
A lot of firearms are equipped with Glock switches. You've heard us talk about that. We believe it probably did have a Glock switch on it, yes.
A Glock switch, a cheap and illegal modification that essentially converts a semi-automatic pistol into a wildly inaccurate automatic weapon with a nearly uncontrollable rate of fire. As for what led up to the killings,
The motive, what we believe at this point, is a dispute over a vehicle.
Surveillance video confirmed Morales pulled his vehicle alongside the victim's vehicle and opened fire, not only killing the mother and child, but also wounding a man in his 20s.
It's so sad because it's like the child had nothing to do with whatever the situation was.
Well, it's my understanding that it's been declining crime, and I'm happy about that. And that's one of the reasons why this is kind of shocking.
Once Morales is captured, he will be held on a $3 million bond. The mother and son who were killed are from Springfield, Massachusetts. Reporting outside Hartford Police Headquarters, Matt Caron, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Now to a follow-up on a deadly hit-and-run crash in West Hartford. A local woman was killed while walking on Oakwood Avenue, but police are looking for two vehicles that were in the area at the time. This happened on Oakwood Avenue at St. James Street on Friday, November 8th. Patricia Brulotte was killed. West Hartford police are hoping someone who knows something will step forward. Well, it's a historic day in the home of the Huskies.
If only we had a nickel for every time we've said that over the years, right?
Yeah.
Well, tonight was a special celebration at Gamble Pavilion. 40 years of Gino Orma and Chris Daly. But there was more history to be made on the hardwoods. Gino Orma, now the all-time winningest coach in all of college basketball. Tonight was win number 1,217 for Gino as the Huskies defeated FDU with ease on their home court. That's Fairleigh Dickinson, by the way. And the celebration was incredible inside Gamble with dozens of UConn alums in the house honoring the greatest coach of all time. Fox 61 sports director Jonah Karp will have much more from tonight's incredible celebration a little later on here on the news at 10.